time
No.
for him. That was epic. That was hilarious. Like, let me see you. When you gonna come?
Okay, the stream is on. I see it. It just gave me a notification. Leon, you should come on with us. Stay your lane.
I don't see you.
Ava Laura.
Hey
Ava
guys,
Laura.
welcome to the After Boom. Boom. This is a new segment that we're going to be doing where we're just going to be talking about some other popping topics that we find of interest that we want to share and that we'll be sharing with you. So, again, my name is Ava Laura. I am your intuitive consultant and life coach and the founder of Boom2Boom. And this is Miss Jessica, CEO of Jaw Research Institute. So, Jessica, what are we talking about tonight?
How y'all doing? All right, so tonight we're gonna do a roll call. Are you ready, Ava Laura?
Roll
Ava
call.
Laura. Ava Laura. You gotta say yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ava Laura.
Yeah.
What's your name or what you do?
Life coach.
What you do?
I'm not prepared for this. Like, what
Anywho,
am I doing?
Ava Laura's forgetting her roots here, guys. So
Sorry.
anyhow,
We
so
didn't
today
live
we
like that in Connecticut.
you got your boom? Yeah, I got my boom. Yeah, y'all didn't do that? The little step and the no. Oh my gosh. Okay, what about Shibuya? But Shibuya roll call? No.
Yeah, I mean, that was so long ago.
Well, we talking about
Oh,
black
so you
women. I
got
think.
kids. So you remember all this stuff. Oh,
Is this bringing back? She's like she seems like she going through bad memories. Like,
no, I'm like, I remember vaguely, but I'm like, you know,
yeah, you're right. I was just doing this with my daughter. Okay,
see,
so see, yep. So we were talking today about. Let's start off with the hidden figures. Let's start there. Hidden figures. So Ava Laura was in on the tweets of Hidden Figures. So tell us a little bit about what Black Twitter was saying there, sister.
well, essentially what happened, Golden Globe Awards,
Uh huh.
and Jenna Bush was interviewing Pharrell Williams
Mm-hmm.
on the red carpet, and she says, "Yeah, so Pharrell, you starred in the movie, or you were involved in the movie Hidden Fences," and Pharrell did a oh, his face was epic. Like, what movie is that exactly? Are we talking about Hidden Figures or are we talking about Fences? I don't really know.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, so needless to say, Black Twitter had a problem with her confusing two of the biggest black movies of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And if that wasn't bad enough, Michael Keaton stepped up and did the same thing, called it Hidden Figures.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
So Black Twitter really had a problem with white privilege confusing our movies. Like, can we separate? Can we have more than one hit movie?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, can that
Mm-hmm.
happen in one season?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's essentially what happened.
Wow. So everybody was like going wild on Twitter. Basically, and that was that was the stream, right? The stream on Twitter was more or less like, oh, can't we have more than just one black movie be hot without y'all trying to make us all? Because you know that whole thing of we all look the same type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was kind of like putting us all in one box and trying to taper us into, oh, everything they
We
all
all
look
look alike.
alike.
We all
Mm-hmm.
act alike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you wouldn't confuse, Shawshank with oh God, the movie just went out my, you know. the movie that I was thinking of. You all confuse the white movies. That never happened.
That's true. Very, very
But you have
true.
two hit black movies, and all of a sudden they get gelled together.
Together.
So
Hmm.
now we got a little bit more diversity. You trying to take away our diversity?
Exactly. I think you're hitting the nail right on the head. And I think the big piece of it was like this is a so Hidden Figures is a movie that's basically about women that help the astronauts go to space. So when I first found out about it, I was like, number one, how did we forget to put that in the history book again? Like, oh, that just happened to slip right past being put in every single hit. I mean, obviously, we know that they withheld certain information, but I'm just like, really, like the whole NASA thing, and not one. I mean, they could at least put one of the women in, the history book and said, okay, she swept the floor or something like.
Did you see the movie?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna take my girls to see it though.
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Did you? What did you think?
And this is the thing. It is interesting that they kind of put the two movies together, because I saw both Hidden Figures and I saw Fences. Two very different movies.
Yeah.
Fences was really just kind of raw, very deep, guttural, amazing acting, and so non-Hollywood. There was like no soundtrack. It was, took place in like one place. You know what I mean? Just very raw, gritty, true to the play. Where Hidden Figures was very Hollywood, with the soundtrack, with the big actors. You had Kevin Costner, with the screenplay, with all of that. And it was kind of interesting. The acting wasn't as great. It wasn't as great of a movie. But
Really?
no, it wasn't.
Oh.
But it had a great story. And exactly like you said. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, how is it that we never knew about these women?
Exactly.
I mean, they had a huge role. They weren't sweeping no floors.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they were not the secretary. They were not the administrative assistant.
Just messed up and just said, so she was sweeping the floor next to the machine that did all the math. Like they could at least give us like
I mean, what's her name? Taraji Henson's character was a freaking genius.
Yeah.
She was a genius with numbers. And I mean, she was finally, I think that she was 97 years old, and she did get recognized by President Obama, and a lot of stuff now. But she was a genius. And oh God, what's her name? The woman from The Help.
Octavia.
Yes, Octavia.
Yeah.
I loved her character because all of them were great for different reasons. It really showed how when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Yeah, exactly.
Because essentially what was happening, and I'm sure most of us can relate for this, she was being passed up for promotions. She was doing the work of a supervisor and not getting paid.
Yep.
And I'm sure we all can relate to that. I have clients right now who are doing the work of 2, 3, 4 people, and they're not hiring anybody else. They're only paying them one person's salary, but they got to do everybody else's work.
Yes, it's
They
work.
refuse to hire somebody else. And so we've all been through that. And she could have said, I'm going to quit. I'm pissed. I can't believe they're treating me like this. But instead, what she did was she saw an opportunity. She saw that the computers were coming down the pike. And this is what's important. She saw that the computers were coming down the pike, and she saw that our jobs are going to get replaced because we got these computers, and we can't compete with these computers. So that woman decided she was going to learn code, and she was going to learn how to operate these computers.
Yep.
And that's what we have to do, not just as Black women, but as people, that when we can see what's happening, a lot of times we get caught up in our feelings, about the injustices, about what's going on in the world. And we have every right to feel how we feel. Every right.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that you can't be mad, that you can't be upset, that you can't be hurt, depressed, whatever it is. But at some point you got to say, okay, but what am I going to do?
Exactly.
And that's what I loved about that character. She said, what am I going to do? I see what's coming down the pipe. I'm going to get in front of it.
Nice. I love that. I
So it
love that.
was a very empowering movie in terms of how you really can succeed at life and how you truly can win if you simply just accept your situation for what it is and decide what is it, how you're going to empower yourself, and what are you going to do.
Yeah. So it's that whole adage of you can't control what someone else does, but you can control what you do, right? You can't control how other people react, but you can control your own reaction to the situation and what have you. And I think from a perspective of a mother, I haven't seen the movie as of yet, but just watching some of the commercials that I've been able to kind of catch, on YouTube, my stream, when I'm trying to watch a different video and it's popping up, it looks as though, especially for what's the Tasha Henson? Is it
Raji Henson.
Taraji. Oh Lord, messing the girl's name up, messing it up. Her character, where she's a mother and she's trying to work a job and go back and forth between taking care of her family as well as be a mother, and it really saddens me.
Single mother. She was a single mother of
Oh,
three
she was a
kids.
single mother in that.
She was a single mother. She was widowed.
Wow.
Yes.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine the talent and the skill that kind of just went well, it didn't really go to waste because she helped that out. But I mean, like, really truthfully, like if they had really given her the acknowledgement and the kudos and really put her in the position that she should have been in, imagine what else she could have come up with. Like, she really could have done probably a lot of the iPhones and all before.
No, you hit it dead on even without seeing the movie, because and first of all, anybody who hasn't seen it, I encourage you to go see it. So don't please take this commentary as, oh, I don't need to go see the movie. No, go see the movie. Go support it. It was a reason that it was number one this weekend. But you hit it right on the head in the sense that it was so unfortunate that they used her when they needed her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's a part in the scene, and I'm not going to go into it, where they felt like they were done with her, and so they didn't need her anymore, so they could just send her back.
Wow.
But when you have a mind like that,
exactly,
you always have a need for it. You don't quit. You don't say, oh, we're done with this task. We don't need you anymore. Bye. The woman literally was a freaking genius. I am terrible with numbers. I am terrible with math. That was like my worst subject ever. And I even had a newfound respect. Like, dang, I need to go back and learn some math. Like, I had a newfound respect for it, because I was like, I didn't realize I did all this.
Exactly.
I was sitting there like, man, I should have really studied that geometry.
Exactly.
Like, so it really brought home, the need for these minds.
Exactly.
And this ability to think and create. And they talked a lot about seeing beyond the numbers.
Yeah.
Really like seeing into the future, seeing what's not even there and creating it.
Yeah.
Acting as if.
Exactly.
So it was so beautiful in that regard to show this mind that had this capacity. And if she was a white male, what would she have been able to do? What opportunities? She could have been Bill Gates. She could, what I mean? Anybody.
Yeah. Exactly. But then that also kind of pushed forward the notion and the idea that if you have a mind like that, maybe not on her level, but if you have a mind where you know certain things and people need you, you need to step out of it. Kind of the reason why we do this show, right? Is that you really truthfully have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to understand that you have it for a reason. And I think that if she had had all of the things that we have today, she would be like a millionaire. Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? It would have been no limit. But because
it was a millionaire.
Yeah, right.
It was really ridiculous, the stuff that she could do. Those white people were looking at her like,
what? Exactly. And I'm going to say this, and I know it's going to rattle a couple of people, but I'm going to say it anyway because that's just who I am. I think that even like back in the day, like when we were riding horses and, like the what is that time? What is that called? When we were riding horses and we had swords and stuff. What is that crap called? Lord, I can't think
Medieval times.
Yes. Like, what the heck? It got a name. What's the name? Medieval times. even in medieval times, I think that Black women, especially, and I'm just gonna say it, Black women were like that foundation of like, I believe that even the kings and stuff came down to Black women. It was like, okay, how do I do X, Y, and Z? You know, there's a saying out there that um, that Shakespeare, a Black girl, wrote a lot of his poems, and I would not put it past that
I'm
old
not gonna
thing.
go there because I'm not gonna go there.
I would
But
not put it past.
after you see something like that, and just knowing a bunch of amazing, beautiful, talented, Black women, I don't put anything past our abilities.
Exactly.
Nothing. You
Yep.
could tell me a Black woman walked on the moon, and I would say, "Dang, when did we miss that?"
Exactly.
I
Right.
will believe it because we are
I
like
would
so ridiculously capable of anything that we put our
too.
minds to.
Yeah, and I think that's because of our ability to, um, number one, we're just nurturers, but then number two, we just when we see a problem, we have to solve it. Like we solve it, and it's not even like we think about it and solve it. It's like, oh, I know what to do. It's just like intuitively in us, like I got it. So all right, all right. We moving to the next topic, or should we stay
Yeah,
on
so
this?
in conclusion, go see Hidden Figures.
Go see Hidden Figures.
Definitely go see it. And it's not about the movie and it's not about the acting because I've had some people, the acting wasn't great. I'm gonna just tell you because I, as a movie connoisseur, you know what I mean. Look, Fences was way better acting.
See,
Okay, it was phenomenal. Knock it
and
out the
y'all
park.
thought Ava Lord, all Ava Lord did was heels. She actually also is movie.
Oh,
Ava
I'm
Lord is
a
a
movie
movie critic.
connoisseur. I'm a food connoisseur. I'm a TV connoisseur. I will give you some opinions about some stuff. I got tons of opinions. Okay. No, but it was amazing in terms of you definitely want in terms of bringing to life, our abilities and when you go see it, you really want to look at like how am I holding myself back? What am I capable of that I'm not giving to the world that the world has not yet seen? And not necessarily because the opportunities haven't been created, but because you haven't put yourself out there to embrace the opportunities.
Boom, boom. And I think that's a wonderful way. I couldn't have said it better myself from our wonderful co-host. So you guys make sure that you tune in to us every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boot to Boom to get your PayPal popping. Relationship, I can never. Every time I get ready to
Get
say,
your PayPal popping, your business booming,
and
and your
your life
life and
and
relationships
relationships
to
to
explode. And
explode.
check this out. If y'all can get that, I'm gonna have y'all come in as co-host, okay? Because I'm gonna need my co-host to know this.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Bye. See you guys Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Oh my goodness.
Boom.
I think
Boom. Hey guys, welcome to the After Boom. I am Ava Laura, your intuitive consultant and life coach, and the founder of Boot to Boom. And we're here every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern to get your PayPal popping, your business booming, and your life and your relationships to explode. And we're doing a new segment called the After Boom, where we're talking about different things that are going on in the world that we find interesting, that we want to discuss with you all. So, Jessica, what we got going on?
All right. So right now we are talking about the the dolls, the beautiful black dolls, the naturally perfect dolls. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find a name, y'all. Hold on.
That's it.
Uh,
That's
Naturally perfect, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And I think they are really, really cute. I know that Ava Laura is like a Shark Tank fiend, so I guess it's gonna be half Shark Tank, half dolls conversation. Because Ava Laura kind of turned me on to Shark Tank. I mean, she didn't really turn me on. I mean, I knew about it, but I wasn't really watching it. So I was like, well, let me look at, kind of what the buzz is all about. So I went to YouTube and I watched, is it After Shark or After Tank or something like that? The little show
yeah.
that they have after that. And I fell in love with that one. I like that one. But anyway, back to the dolls. So there are these cute dolls that they have. And tell us a little bit, do you know a little bit about the background of why she started it? It was before for her daughters, right? Because she wants to find culturally.
Yeah. So it's a husband and wife team, and they have two daughters, and their daughters have naturally, this is a black couple here. Their daughters have naturally curly hair. And what happened was their daughters were basically coming home crying and telling their dad, like, I need blonde hair and blue eyes so I can be pretty too.
Oh.
And I'm not even a parent, but I know that any parent that would break your heart to have your child come to you and not feel beautiful because the standard of beauty does not reflect what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
And so that prompted them to say, okay, we want to create a doll that looks like our children so that they will feel beautiful. And so that's the naturally perfect doll. And so it's much more culturally diverse. They did a Kickstarter campaign. They got quite a bit of money from Kickstarter. And they even had, Asian parents and Mexican parents and everybody, different, different people with different backgrounds, different minorities coming and say, hey, we want a doll that looks like our child too.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. So she getting multicultural money. I heard that. That's what I'm talking about.
So they started with, I believe it's called the Angelica doll, which looks like their daughter.
Yeah. I love this idea. I love the idea that the girls, it says that she would put her daughter's hair in twists and Bantu knots and braids, and now they can put the doll's hair in Bantu knots and braids. That is just so precious. That is too cute. Because you think about it, when you get the other dolls, their hair won't stay when you braid it. Like sometimes it'll come right back loose. Like it won't stay up. So you end up having to put, I remember when I was a kid and I would be playing with the dolls and I have to put like 50 million rubber bands on it to try to keep it braided. And I swear Barbie's hair always came unbraided. I used to be so mad at Barbie for that.
This is the thing, right? Because I had all black Barbies. So I was a little different.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm from Connecticut, right? So y'all from Connecticut. You should. I'm from Connecticut.
Yeah.
But my daddy was from Atlanta. My mom was from Oklahoma. Okay, so my roots were in the South. But I was born and raised in Connecticut. I only got black dolls. My parents only bought me black dolls.
Wow. Yeah.
And when I would have my white friends give me some white Barbies, I would look at them like, "What you giving me this for?" And I wouldn't I would get rid of the doll. I didn't want the white dolls. But here's the thing. The black Barbies were nothing but white Barbies with black skin.
Yeah, you're right.
So what you're talking about is still the same. The hair was still the same. The body was still the same. They just looked black.
Yeah.
So even that, it still wasn't diverse or it wasn't culturally sensitive.
You're right.
Because it was just like a white Barbie with black face.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
it kind of was though. It kind of was though. It really was. And even like her body, like you said, her body type. But I have seen a full size Barbie now. I've seen a full size Barbie. My niece had one, a full size Barbie. I was like, that is so cute. And my sister was like, yeah, I'm trying to show her that we come in all body types. I was like, I heard that. So I'm glad that now, but I mean, to tie this into our last section, our last session as well, our last, what are we, Booming After Dark? Booming After Dark? Right. Um, in the media right now, or in film industries and everything, with all the films that are coming out that are talking about the Black experience, talking about Black life and all that good stuff. A lot of people are thinking like it's just the trend, like they just want to get in while the iron is hot. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like, do you think that this is just a trend that they're trying to capitalize on right now, or do you think that this is something that it's just like they're opening up their eyes to it and realizing and understanding that our money is green as well?
So again, I'm 40 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this has been my experience that I'm talking about in wanting to have Black dolls back when I was a child.
Yeah.
And I'm just 40.
Yeah.
So clearly this is something that has been going on for years.
For a long time. Yeah.
So it's definitely not a trend. And in fact, I grew up, I was a psychology major. And one of the things that we talked about was the doll study that they did back in the 70s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Clark.
Right?
Clark
the famous doll study. And so this clearly, and if you don't know anything about that doll study, look it up. But it was really all about assessing the self-esteem of Black children.
Yes,
And
Kenneth Clark and his wife. I can't remember his wife's name, but I love them. My favorite.
And that was one of the reasons why my parents made sure that I had Black dolls. So this is definitely something that's been going on. It's just that now people are starting to pay attention. So we were talking about hidden figures and how could we not know about these women?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
It's the same thing. Like, how could people not celebrate diversity and not have diverse dolls?
Exactly.
This is something that's been going on, but nobody's been really giving it any attention. So
True.
it's nothing new under the sun. This is not, this has always been our experience. If you Black and you're a woman in America, you've always experienced this.
Right.
To everybody else, it might be new, but we like, well, dang, it's about time. We love that Black girl magic hashtag because we like, well, dang, it's about time.
Somebody came up with something for us. Exactly. And what's so funny about it is, not really even that it's funny, but our culture kind of drives everything else, that's around us, like my daughter, I can't tell you how many times my daughter comes up to me in a day with her Instagram or whatever, with little girls on there, with long poetic justice braids and all that other stuff, and trying to dance and we'll just juju on that beat, but it's a white chick. It's a bunch of white. It's this one Justin Bieber song. It's the sorry, whatever that is that Justin Bieber sings. And it's a group of Caucasian girls that are dancing to the song or whatever, and they're doing. And I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? They have like a gazillion, million, trillion, billion views or whatever. But I'm like, every single dance is the same thing I was doing like 10 to 20 years ago. And then they're not even doing that like halfway as good as I was like, are y'all really watching this? Did you really just see her? I was like, that was horrible. I know I've been out the game for a minute, but that was bad. So it's crazy that our culture.
And the thing is, and it's not, some people will watch this and say, oh, you talking about Black people, or you talking about white people. It's not even about that. It's simply about being recognized for your gifts and for your talents and what you can contribute to the world, and how for so long Black people haven't, and Black women in particular haven't been celebrated for our gifts and being seen for what we can really contribute and how amazing we truly are. And so for some people it might come off, some people will say it's like reverse racism, which is crazy. There's no such thing as reverse racism. Sorry, I grew up in a time where if you didn't have power, you couldn't be racist, but that's a whole nother story. So it's not about that, but it's about celebrating who we are and understanding like we're
Exactly.
the bomb.com and everybody needs to know this. And
Exactly.
finally, the media is giving us some attention. So we about to ride this wave until the wheels fall off because we don't know how long this is going to last. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. We might only get 2 years of this. We might
Yeah.
only get 6 months. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. And that's what I got from that video. It was like, now if this had been a bunch of, just not even really necessarily black girls, but if it had been just a mixture of the minorities, Asian, Mexican, or Latino, black girls, and they had put together a little dance with doing it on there, they would have just been like, oh, but for these girls, and they're doing and doing it horribly. Look it up. Just look it up. You'll be like, whoa.
Oh,
But
you
anyway,
just gonna give it more views.
I don't want to give it no more views, but I just want you to see how horrible they are. I mean, like, I was like that. So anyway, so with that being said, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that as we've grown older, like I can remember back in the day, like the only thing I watched, the only thing that was on TV was Star Trek, Three's a Company, and we only had one black woman on Star Trek, and I think what's his face, what was the main guy, the main Captain Kirk, like got with her maybe once, and that was it, like.
She was only worthy of a one night stand.
One.
That's
Okay.
what you say.
No, what I'm saying is she should have been like, but I'm saying that was the exposure we had, but even she, you know what? Now that we're tying that in, she was the one that was like driving the ship. She was behind the control boards. Did she give me props? Did they go, a black lady behind, thank you so much? No, they always went to Spock and was like, oh yeah, like he was the dude. She didn't get no props. She didn't get nothing. Anyway,
that's real. I mean, that's real. I mean, and it's really difficult. Like, and I love being a black woman. Like, I wouldn't want to be anything else. But it can be very taxing and wearing on you when you were like amazing and you were not validated for your awesomeness. You know what I mean? Like, we all want to be loved. We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. We all want to be validated. It's a basic human need. And so when you're amazing at what you do and you're not seen and you're not heard and you're not validated, for many of us, that's going to die with you because you're just going to give up.
Now I'm gonna really strike a nerve here. But we see that a lot in digital media. We see that a lot. We see that a lot when our women get on, Facebook Live or Periscope or what have you. It's like, oh, since it's a black person, this is only meant for black people, and then they get devalued. Like I could tell you, a majority of the I'm gonna hit a nerve, and I'm gonna say it anyway. But there are a lot of people that are out there. I'm gonna put it that way. People that are out there that are utilizing our culture in their revenue streams, but they give us no props for it. So like they're using, oh, it's cool, or oh my bad, or what was one I heard? I actually heard Kim Garth say this one today. What did she say? She said, dang, I think it was like my bad, or I'm up on that, or something she said. And I was just like, it's interesting how they can do that, but yet when they have an online conference or any conference for that matter, there's not a one black person in that conference speaking lineup. Not one.
And speaking of her, not that I'm calling her out, but I'm calling her out. She, because she has an extensive, when we talk about social media platform.
Yes, exactly.
And she had an event and it was talking about like the top 10 or top 20 women in live streaming. And it was like a conference. And there was not one black woman. Exactly. And I said, you mean to tell me y'all can't come up with one black woman? Not just one. And the thing is, I know a lot of people might get upset about it. I don't even get upset about it. One of the things I realized a long time ago, and this is the beauty of studying psychology and understanding people and human nature. And this is why I love what I do, and being a life coach and really helping people to reach their full potential and their gifts. And
Plug.
show up in the world. Oh, I'm gonna plug
Plug.
myself. I'm going to plug myself. Okay.
I love Ava Laura.
Um,
This is my girl. This is my girl.
but the thing that I realized is that
Hmm.
I don't even get upset about that, because what I realize is that they're not even checking for us. It's not even
Exactly.
a racist thing where they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna include you. They just not even thinking about
About
us.
us. Yep.
Like, we're
You're
not
right.
even on their radar.
Here's my thing though. You won't think about us, but you'll play our music and you'll listen and sling our words around.
But what that
That's
means
all.
is we gotta think about us.
That's right. You're
Like,
right.
we gotta have our own back. And when you
Yes.
have a platform, you got to bring somebody else up with you.
There you go. Boom.
And really, and to tie all of this back into business is, and talking about the dolls and little black girl self-esteem and our confidence and all of
And
that.
Shark Tank. Shark Tank does a lot of that. I think
Yeah.
that Damon John being on the show,
Oh, absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? He definitely when he sees, he's like,
Now
oh,
they get some black woman on there. Oh, that's gonna be crunk. Can we get a black woman on Shark
can we
Tank?
get a black woman
That
on
right
Shark Tank,
there will be
please?
crunk.
That's the hashtag we need. Hashtag black woman needed on Shark Tank.
Yes, that would be awesome. But what I was gonna say is that
I'm sorry.
and just in tying it back to the dolls and all of that, is that the beauty of that story, and what I want people to get out of this is that use your platform to uplift and to bring up. And when you see a problem, the whole point of business is to provide a solution.
Yep, that's right.
That's what business is all about. That is what being an entrepreneur is all about. Because you can get a job if you're going to do what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you become a business owner, what you are supposed to be doing is thinking out of the box and providing solutions.
Yeah.
So they saw a problem,
yeah,
and they provided a solution. This diversity issue, it's a problem.
it is.
So when you become an entrepreneur, how are you going to address it? One of the things when we've had guests on our show, I remember we had black billionaire Michael. Oh my God, his name is escaping me. His last name. But one of the things that he said that he loved about being an entrepreneur is that he could hire whoever he wanted.
I love it.
He could hire, men who had been in prison who couldn't get jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And so using your platform, using your business to provide a solution to this diversity issue, because there are so many people. We're talking about black women, but there's so many people, so many black women who simply have not had the chance to shine.
Exactly. And not only have they not had the chance, what I help do is in my business and along with my clients is they haven't had the confidence. They don't have someone to tell them and push them and say, you can do this. Forget about what everybody else said. Forget about what the media is telling you. Forget about whatever song that's coming off talking about you bougie and you bad, shake your rear. Think about the fact that you have insight and something that everyone else out there wants to learn from you. You just have to have enough confidence, and you have to have the tools and use the right resources available. So I think, Ava Laura, what you were talking about is just being able to fulfill a need, and it is a valid need. You talked about, and you guys can look this up, but Ava Laura and I both know the hierarchy of needs. There are needs that we have to fulfill in order for our lives to continue on. There are needs that we have to fill in order for us to stay sane and stay able to function in daily life. So fulfilling those needs is basically what you would be able to do with your business. Fulfill a need out there, and you'll never be out of business. You'll always have clients and customers. So I hope this was empowering to you. Ava Laura, you have any last thoughts at all?
No, I mean, you summed it up nicely. I mean, and that's what we're talking about, is that we're bringing this issue to you so that you can kind of look at your life and look at the lives of others and look at the world and see what's going on, and maybe come outside of your box a little bit and say, hey, yeah, you know what? What is the need? What is going on? That is true. I do know sister so-and-so who is like the best baker ever, but nobody will ever have her cookies or her cobbler or her collard greens in Neiman Marcus can sell theirs for $60.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But nobody's going to ever have hers because she won't put it out there. Exactly. But maybe I can put it out there for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that with Katrina. Remember? Katrina was talking about how her auntie or someone had died with their dreams still inside of them because they just didn't believe in
Most
themselves
people will.
enough.
I mean, my grandmother. Oh my God, I tell people all the time.
Hmm.
They call my grandmother the cake lady. Okay,
Yeah.
she made the best cake and the best fried chicken in Atlanta.
Really?
I am spoiled to this day. My grandmother has passed for God, what, 7 years, 6, 7 years now.
Hmm.
Nobody could make red velvet like my grandmother.
Wow.
Nobody. And my aunties, somehow they got the recipe and messed it up. They can't do it. They can't do it. So my grandmother's red velvet recipe is gone.
Gone.
But
Wow.
imagine if we had taken that talent. Now, granted, people knew her talent, but she could have been worldwide.
Exactly.
Listen, that
Wow.
red velvet, I still can taste it, and I can't ever have it again. Oh my God, I told you I'm a foodie. Her pound cake, she made the best pound cake with chocolate icing. Who makes pound cake with chocolate
With
icing?
chocolate icing.
Gone.
No, I have had pound cake with chocolate icing. It is so good.
It's freaking amazing. But
Oh my gosh, I want some now.
see, but now, so if we had cultivated that, right? And if we had
Yeah,
taken that and made that a worldwide business, it would still be alive
be
even after
alive
she's gone.
today. Exactly. And that's what we talk. We talk about that. We talk about legacy, because we all know that one day we got to go. We know it's going to come our time, not right now, not no time soon, but it will come. But we want to make sure that we leave something behind. I tell a lot of my clients, especially the ones that deal with like the self-confidence issue and the self-esteem type things. What if Martin Luther King felt the way you do right now? What if Martin Luther King said, you know what? I'm forget it. I'm not stepping out there.
No, forget that. No, he probably did feel like that. He probably did. Because let me tell you, so I feel like that every day. People, I was telling somebody, I was like, oh, I'm doing a radio interview. And I'm like, oh, I do them all the time. They're like, oh, Ava Lord. Look, every time I do one, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm scared. What am
Yeah,
I going to talk about?
yeah,
Every single time.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
do it anyway.
Anyway,
So
but
he
that's the
probably
thing.
did feel like that.
That's the thing. So he felt like that, but he didn't fall into it. He didn't allow it to keep him stuck. Now, I want you to imagine if Martin Luther King, if you don't like Malcolm X, if you don't like, like
We
so
can't
on
help.
and so forth. Exactly, like so on and so Tupac, like is that gonna help? Is
You
that
and this
work for you?
Tupac,
But
Lord.
I love
How
Tupac
we go from
uh,
MLK to, to Malcolm X to Tupac?
because
He's not
Tupac.
even an M. He's not even an M. No, sir. She
his
will
his
find
belly,
a way to get Tupac in the mix. Anyway, go ahead.
his belly. He just had the belly. But anyway, but I just want you to think about that. Let's bring it back here. Let's bring it back. Because I'm thinking about Tupac now. Like, Anywho, but like really, if they wouldn't have stepped out against the feelings, against everything else, when and for me, Tupac does do that. He does have his lyrics that, but when I hear his name, when I hear Malcolm X, when I hear who else like gives me empowerment? It gives me empowerment upon hearing their name. As soon as I hear their name, it makes me stand up tall. It makes me want to sit up. It makes me want to work for something. And I want to be that for someone else out there. And I feel like I'm starting to put that ceiling out there, but I know I have more work to do. And I know for especially my children, definitely want, when they say, oh yeah, my mother was Jessica, well, they're going to say it with empowerment, like, yeah, because my mother always stood tall. She always went after what she wanted in her life, and she never gave up. She just charged forward, regardless of whatever blew up in her face or a cam twist popped up on her web show. She was like, I'm gonna push through it, and I'm gonna make it happen. So I want you all to think about that as well. I want you all to think about what would it be like if someone said my name in 2029 or 2055 or whatever it is, and upon hearing my name, they're like, yeah, they're standing up. They're like, it gives them something to move them forward. And that's what we want to leave behind. Because I know when people hear Ava Laura gives a certain energy to them when they hear her name. So, okay, wrap up. So
I hope
yeah,
that's a good energy. Let's just say it's a good
I be thinking Ava Laura crown, queen, Facebook.
hopefully
Messenger.
it will be a little more than Facebook and crowns. But
Facebook
okay,
Messenger.
I gotta have my clients represent for me. Lord, they need to talk about me. All right, y'all. This has been another edition of the After Boom. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you tune in to Boom2Boom every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do
Get your
what?
PayPal popping, your business booming, and your life and relationships to explode. I got it.
Excellence. Black excellence. You see how you got to get people to step up? You try to take away their job and then they come up. See that? All right. See y'all later. Bye.
You oh my gosh. Okay, let me make sure he offers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Leon, let me know.
Look, black folks ain't giving up no work. We ain't giving up our job now.
Stop. I will